Well, howdy neighbor. Welcome back to Hammer and Saw Customs. I'm old brother Bill, jack of all trades, master of none. I think we're on part 5, 6 of subpart 5, 6, 1, 2. I don't know. Anyway, we're working today on the Hoarder pallet wood processing station. I think as we left off last time, we had our framing all done. Today we're going to do our front frame trim out and skin the sides and hopefully get the door assembled. We'll see how all that works out, if it's in this video or if it's in another video. So come on back after the intro, grab you a snack, grab you something cold to drink because we've got a nice sunny day, and stand by. We'll jump right in after that. Well, welcome back, neighbor. Glad you're back with us and you're sticking around. 3 of you out there that are watching. All right, so before we get started, I know some of you might say, well, hey, Brother Bill, why do we got to wait a whole week to get, a 10-minute video? Well, I just want to show you, unlike some of those Hollywood videos where, they got a team of 2 people and they tear up your backyard and totally redo it, or they come in and totally redo your house over the weekend, or they leave the couple, a laundry list this long to get done overnight. Well, I'm trying to show you what realistically, so you don't get disheartened when you start to do woodworking, because there's the plan, the layout, the thought in your head, the materials, gathering materials, there's the cutting, the nailing, the screwing. So I'm trying to show you, like in real time, what a person can do on the weekend with just a few old beat up hand tools and some free materials to hack and whack and try to, get some things done with just a hammer and a saw per se. So with that, let's jump right in. So today we're going to be finishing up our trim out. So this is going to give us the trim out for the face. This is also going to give us the meat for our hinges to dig into. I've already pre-drilled. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these screwed up there, get those screwed up there. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So I'm going to stop the blah blah blah. We're going to go to warp speed. We're going to get this thing knocked out for you. Alright, so let's go. Pretty simple. I got to rinse and repeat. I've got one piece I've got to trim up, so let me get that done, finish that out, and then we'll get set up for our skin boards that we're putting on the front face and the back face, and how we start out from the top. So let me get that set up and we'll get rolling. Real quick, a little tip I use when I'm cutting repetitively sized length boards, especially like this siding we're going to be using. You're going to get your tape measure out, and you're going to make your mark. You're going to use your triangle, square that up. And say you don't have a chop saw, and say you don't have a jig where you're just going to, set these right up one right after another, because, pallet wood is different sizes, different lengths. But what you're going to do is you're going to square up your boards the best you can, square up the ends the best you can, and you're going to stack a few of them. Stack enough of them to where the last board is barely going to be touched by the blade. As you can see on this one, or maybe you can't, there's a scoring mark where I have been cutting these side skin boards for the cabinet. So there's already a mark there. So what I want to do is I square up my boards, end square. Going to take the old handy dandy sawdust making happener. I'm going to follow that line just like this. Now, we've got the boards that we're going to be using. Stack those over there. And then, got a nice little score mark right there. All ready for our next set of boards. So now we set those down. We use this board as our guide. Square them up again best we can. This, you know, this is rustic lumber. Got her in square, right back, and we're gonna rinse and repeat. Got that nice little score mark you can get the tooth of the saw blade into. Once again, we've just got a nice cut. Everything's to length, and if this is our last board, we can cut right on that line and it's going to be the same size as the other ones, or we want to hold that back in case we need a few more. We already got our mark set up. So, little tip of the day. All right, neighbor, here we go. I'm using my handy dandy little brad nailer air compressor battery powered unit that awesome subscriber sent in. Been quite a while ago. It's still working, and so is the nailer. I sure do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I've already put one of our 1x4. Now I guess that's maybe 1/2x4. It all depends on how you measure it. If you go by what actual size, or you go by, you know, the size they sell stuff for that really isn't that size. Go figure. I'm going to be using a 2-inch brad nail. Tapped it into place. We want to start at the top because it seems like everybody's eyes on the scale or something like this is going to be up here. So we want to make that look all nice and pretty, and as we come down, if we got to fudge something at the bottom, most people don't look down at their shoes half the time anyway, right? So I'm going to throw this in warp mode. I'm going to throw this up here because, you know, after you saw 1 or 2 boards put in, you know, it pretty much is a rinse repeat. I think you've got that down pretty good. But you'll see how, and then leaving this rustic. I may come back through later on and sand all this down a little bit. But right now, it's got the dirt, the boot prints, everything to show you this is actual pallet wood, not store-bought wood. I think somebody made the comment that I spent a lot of time turning store-bought wood to make it look like pallet wood. No, that's not the deal. This is actual pallet wood. All right, well anyway, here we go. Neighbor, that's how it's going to go. So I don't waste 1,000 hours in video and you watch me put up board after board after board. I'll go ahead and get this finished up. I'll show you what she looks like. We'll start on the other side. It'll be a rinse and repeat, and we can get this project moving along because, whew, Brother Bill's got a lot of stuff that he's hoarded to process. So we want to get to those videos too. All right, stick with me. We'll get this done. I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll be right back. All right, neighbor, as you can see, the weather's turned bad. That's just the way it goes when you live on the rainy side. And we've got our siding skin on. As you can see, this side's done, this side's done. Remember, just a tip, you know, the face side of the board always is the prettiest sometimes. So you always want to just look at what you want to be on the outside. I am going to sand this, so I'm not really too worried about the scuffs and things of that nature. Also, if you got you a little small level, torpedo level, you might want to just check your, you know, put a couple in and check for level. I mean, because it is pallet wood, and it's, you know, it's straight, it's square, it's just perfect, and you're not buying that, right? Yeah, I got it. So that's that. So we got that part done. She's looking pretty good. Next, I want to set up our top ventilation face. Also, it's going to be our striker for when our door closes. We want something for that door to, you know, hit against other than just the lock. This would be our bottom striker, so that'll be on the bottom. So we want to put a little striker up there. I think if you already saw that one, if you go back and look at the video of how the top goes. Let me set up the crossboard I'm just gonna put a board in here so I measure down. I'm gonna put some pallet holes in. Let me sink that in there, and we'll get that done. So hang with me, let me set that up, and I'll show you how we're going to finish that out. And then guess what? We're going to get, I mean, we're moving quick, fast, bada boom, bada bing. We're going to get right in on how I made that pallet wood front door. So kind of cool. I think so. I mean, hey, I'm going to be using it, so yeah, of course I think it is. All right, come right back, and we'll get started on that top piece. All right, neighbor. So what we've got is we've got that cross beam put in here. It's same width of the top cross beam as we used this for our frame. We just did some pilot holes, screwed in some 3.5-inch screws from the side, so that's braced in there. I've already cut my slats. I'm going to run across here. I've installed each side. So now we're going to use same old, same old. We've already got our pilot holes there. We're going to use 2.5 because we only are going through the board and the brace into the brace, so we don't want to come out on the other side. And you probably remember one of the other videos talking about the pencil and how this is a 1/2 inch this way, or it can be a 1/4 inch that way. So we're going to use this magical piece of equipment here. Make sure we've got our top level by using our finger there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to slide that over until we come in contact with that magic measuring device. It's also a pencil. Make sure we get our top right. Slide that bugger in right there. Oh, look at that. I shot that thing way out over there. Let's put another one in. That happens sometimes. No big deal. Alright, so there's that. So I'm just gonna go over this sides and keep going back and forth until we work out to the middle, and then we can kind of fudge that distance right there, make it look like a decorative design, like we did it on purpose. Because that's how you know, cock and putty. You can be my buddy. So with that, I don't think I need to bore you guys with that. Just gonna rinse and repeat, and I'll show you the finished product. So stand by. All right, there we go, neighbor. So we use the thin part to make all our gaps, side to side to side, and then on the end, just to change it up, we use the wide part to do that. So I get my ventilation that I always wanted. I get to show you how that little pencil thing works in real life. There and there. And that's finished. We've got our top striker. And now for the thing you've been waiting for, the door that I keep putting you on the hook for. So let's get over there and get started. All right, neighbor, we're finally to it. So this is going to be our top for our frame for our door. This is going to be the left side, right side, or the left side, right side. Yep, that's right. We've got our tops. I went ahead and already made some pocket holes. You've already seen how I do those. On a 45, it's the same way. I'm kind of using the B setting, so I get kind of in the middle. I am going to run some pallet holes, get the corners each side when we get to that point. But right now, what we're going to do is we've cut some 45s. We've got our 3.5-inch deck screws. We want to make sure that our 45s are right to the edge. They're not overlapping, not stuck up on top of each other there. Just using our driver. I'm going to send it home. Ooh, boy, that looks nice. So that's how I'm going to attach each corner. So let me go ahead and get those corners attached, and then I'll show you how I want to drive in those other nails in the ends so we don't get any warpage or twisting or anything like that. So you saw that. I got to rinse and repeat like 4 times, and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so we've got our 4 corners put together with our pocket screw. now we want to, and before we get too crazy, we already got, we took our tape measure, we checked for square, we've got 83 3/8 and 83 3/8, so we're good there. Always check for square-ish. So now we want to put a couple of our corner screws in, so we keep this outer part of the 45 joint held tightly. Now you could probably put a few more pocket screws in there, but I like to do it this way. It's just my druthers, and I believe that is going to keep that nice and tight and strong, and it's not going to go anywhere. So I already ran a screw in this way and I ran a screw in that way, so we've got the inside 45 held by a pocket screw, and then we've got these two sandwiched. So basically that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go there and go there on each and every corner. Pretty simple. Got any questions? I can't hear you, so as always, Brother Bill's going to pander to you. You guys could hit that Hammer and Saw Customs down there. That's the old subscribe button, if you didn't already know. Plus, if you could share some shares, share some likes, and maybe share likes and shares, or share subscription. I'm not sure if you can do that or not. But anyway, Brother Bill, appreciate it. Comments are always welcome. And I hope you've enjoyed the video the way that we're doing it now. I know this one's going to take a little bit, but like I said, this is real stuff, not Hollywood stuff. So I just want you to realize when you start your projects, it will take a minute or two. So with that, let's keep hammering on safely. All right, neighbor, we're back. And I know it's just raining like cats and dogs, and hopefully that doesn't drown out my voice, or maybe you want it to. So we got our frame, we've got our 45s, we've got our pockets installed, and I just noticed something. I need to flip this because I have it on the wrong side. Stand by just 1 second. Okay, we're back, and I think I got it on the right side now. Yep, pilot holes. That's what I was going to talk about. We've got our pilot holes, screws in. We've got our ends drilled and screwed down. So now we're ready for our cross pieces, or our body of our door. I've already done the pocket holes. Man, those things come in handy on this little gizmo, and I'm so glad subscribers sent them in. Once again, thank you. So what we're going to do here, we've got the pocket holes. This is the back side of the door. We're going to slide that into place, kind of like that, just dropped right in. And we're going to use our handy dandy 3/4 inch pipe again. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that in there, slide it over, and that is now going to be our spacing between our inlay. So basically I'm just going to grab the old Drill-O-Matic screwdriver and zip this down once I get my oh no, come on. And run down here. Got that. Make sure that's in there. Oh yeah. Yep. All right, we'll pull the pipe out, and we'll drop it in, and we'll just keep. I need to get the point. We're just going to drop that pipe in, drop in our board, run our screws in, top, bottom. Drop that. Well, we'll probably jump to this side because we want to leave our gap, our largest gap, right in the center, and that will be kind of a decorative detail, or our fudge factor, especially since I want this to have ventilation. So you got that. Let me finish it up, and I'll show you what it looks like all done and done. All right, neighbor. There we go. That's the last section, and it came out pretty good. I'm going to flip it over, and now we're going to put the cross member pieces on it. So that's going to go a little like, boy, that thing's like a battle tank. There we go. All right. So these guys are going to go one there, one across there, one across here, and one across there. Now you saw how these went on the lower cabinet doors. That's basically what I'm going to do right there. I'm going to rinse and repeat that same process. I'm going to do some pilot holes. I'm going to tie all this together, tie the top pieces together, and then we'll cut our 45s or our angled Z-brace. It may not be a 45, remember, because of distance and width, those angles may change in flight. So, I've got these laid out. You see how that's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and do all the pilot holes, get the screws ready, get them all lined out where they need to be, and we'll go from there. And then we'll be ready for the cross braces. All right, neighbor, let's finish up the last few screws. Alright, that's got our cross pieces. That ties in our top board with our runners, our middle, so she doesn't wobble, our middle, and our bottom, the same as the top. Now we just got to figure out which side the hinges go on. And of course, if I'm looking at this right, it's that side. So, once again, whoops, I think I kicked the camera. Alright, there we go. Now, same way as always, we've got our handy dandy recycled hinges. Just to recap, this is our side our hinges are going to go on. This should go on this side. So we want our hinge ports up. If you guys don't remember how we did it last time, I'll recap real quick on one. But what we did is we just kind of slid it down and centered, making it flush so we don't bind the hinge when we put it up there. We're going to draw our little circles. And then we're going to, once again, do our pilot holes. And I'm going to do that this way, that way, that way, that way. Once again, in woodwork, once you get down some of those basics, it's just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, and wash. Or wash, rinse, repeat. So, let me get the hinges on. And then when we, that way when the hinges are on, we absolutely won't screw up and mess up our angle. Our Z-brace needs to point back, needs to shoot back towards our hinge, because that's where we're going to, when this door tries to rack on us, when it comes down, that's going to push that weight back here to this support, which is going to push on this hinge and try to keep our door as straight as possible for as long as possible. So let me do the hinges, and then we'll get on to the supports. And then we're right there, neighbor, on mounting this colossal door. Now this door is bigger because the way the space came out, that door's a little smaller. The way the framing and everything just kind of fell into place. This one's a little larger. I got more things that's going to go in it, so it's a little wider, so it's a little heftier door. Anyway, enough talk. Hinge time, then support time. We got our 4 hinges on. We've got our cross bracing boards lined up, and what we want to do, we just want to line those up from edge to edge like so. We're pointing back to the hinge. Do our little marking trick we did before. Should work. And it did. We got a mark and a mark. Got a mark and a mark. There's a little trick here. There we go. there. And there. So I won't bore you how we, remember how we take our square, place that on our mark, and we adjust to our line from our pivot point, and then make our line. So that's going to be our angle that we're going to cut with. You guys already saw that 2 or 3 times when we did the bottom one, so I won't bore you with that. So I will go ahead and get these cut, them installed. I think we even covered how we screwed them down, did the 45 into the top and the bottom so it ties in there. I'll run the camera over that real quick, but I think you guys have got that. Let me get this done and we'll get this bad boy mounted. All right, folks, we're on overtime, but that's all right. I've got to get this done for you guys and get it hung so you can see how it works from start to finish in this video, because it'll be a couple videos that you already seen. But I got to get up at dark 30 and go to work, my day job. So let's wrap this bad boy up. Holy moly, that's heavy. I think that's heavier than the sliding door. Okay. I think it might be a little high. I think that's going to work. Let's throw a screw in it. Pretty daggum good, I believe. We're going to come out some. That's where she's going to have to rest. So let's get pilot hole. Oop, missed it. And of course I'm blocking the shot. Of course, can't show you all the movie magic, right? Alright. That's going to do it. Alright. She's on there temporary. So let me get the pilot holes drilled, the screws done, and we'll do the big revealing close. Stay with me, stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, neighbor, last screw. All right, hinges are in. Bracing is out from under it. Here we go. And yes, I did already install the lock earlier, so will it work? Yes, it will. Saw that? See? Boom. There we go. And she's open. Ta-da. And then now she is closed. What do you think? Good? Bad? Indifferent? Let's get you, let me back you up and get you a full look. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Well, there she is, neighbor. There is the end cabinetry. We're going to put long, tall items in there. Here's the cabinetry down here. Workstations already came in. Handy as a pocket on a shirt. Don't have a pocket on a shirt, but yep, got a pocket in my pants to keep all those screws and nuts and bolts and everything for now. Next time, we'll deal with this big, gigantic void right here. Where there's nothing here. It's kind of Bluetooth right now. Well, that's going to do it, neighbor. Oh, Brother Bill is soaked through. It is humid as it can be. Glasses are even steaming up. So, as always, Brother Bill wants you to know that if your neighbor can learn to do it, you can learn to do it too. And when you're out there on those projects having fun and figuring things out and just don't know what's happening, take your time. Don't get hurt. Or Safety Steve will get you. Because if you don't, accidents will happen. So I want you to hammer on safely. As always, let's remember our veterans, past and present, and our first responders out there. They've got a hard job, no matter who they are, whether the police, the fire department or EMS. They may be trying to take care of your loved one, or maybe you. So when you hear those sirens, get out of the way. Until next time, Brother Bill's gonna miss you. Hopefully we'll have lots of good more videos coming your way, and then we'll jump in and get working on that paint studio for the little misses and start processing some of this hoarding. Until next time, keep it between the ditches and aloha.